Hello everyone. Welcome to Kia's Closet. So I'm just gonna adjust the lighting here. How are you guys today? How's it going? Let me know when you're on. Give me a quick hi when you're on. We're gonna do something totally different today in Kia's Closet. We are doing a book. We're doing a story today, and it's a children's story, and it is fabulous. So when you hop on, make sure you say hi, and we can get started. I'm just gonna give people a couple minutes to get on. I hope that you're in your pajamas. I hope you're rocking your pajamas. Grab your favorite drink. Today I'm doing hot water with lemon. I'm super excited. I love hot water with lemon, and I know a lot of people think it's like an old drink, but I love hot water with lemon. So when you're on, don't forget to say hi. Let me know you're here. We are going to get going with our story soon. There's a reason why we're doing story time today, and I'm really excited to share it with you guys. So the story we're reading today is called You're Here for a Reason, and it's by Nancy Tillman. And I read this story to my daughter almost every night, and it is incredible. And I thought, you know, with all the stuff that's happening around the world, with all the upheaval that's going on, with all the tragedies that are recently happening, why not do kind of a feel-good, right? Why not have a feel-good live where we can all get together and just talk about what makes us feel good, talk about our why, get inspired, and start kind of creating some change. The thing is there's a lot going on, and it's very easy to lose faith in humanity when things like this happen, especially globally. We know that right now is not exactly a great time. So the reason why I thought to do a live like this is to really just inspire everyone to step out of their comfort zone and start pushing their boundaries and creating change. So we are going to start, guys. We are reading You're Here for a Reason by Nancy Tillman. If you have not got this book, I highly recommend you get it. It is incredible for all children. Hi, Kim. It is incredible for all children. So here we go. Welcome to Kia's Closet. It's story time. So You're Here for a Reason by Nancy Tillman. I'm going to try to do this like a teacher would, but I'm not that great, so I might just have to read it like this. Okay, here we go. You're here for a reason, you certainly are. The world would be different without you by far. If not for your hands, your eyes, and your feet, the world like a puzzle would be incomplete. Even the smallest of things that you do blossom and multiply far beyond you. A kindness, for instance, may triple for days, or set things in motion in different ways. It travels much further than you'll ever know, under the treetops, over the snow, till it's wandered, and fluttered, and floated, and twirled, making things happen all over the world. You're here for a reason, it's totally true. You're part of a world that is counting on you. So don't be too worried if some days fall flat. Good things can happen even from that. Life can be tricky, there isn't a doubt. You'll skin your knees trying to figure it out. But life works together, the good and the bad, the silly, the awful, the happy, the sad, to paint a big picture you can't always see, a picture that needs you, most definitely. Remember that next time a day goes all wrong, to somebody else, you'll always be strong. And that ball that you lose or that kite you let go could make someone's day, you just never know. You're here for a reason if you think that you're not. I would just like to say, perhaps you forgot. A piece of the world that is precious and dear would surely be missed if you weren't here. If not for your smile, your laugh and your heart, this place we call home would be minus a part. Thank goodness you're here, thank goodness times two. I just can't imagine a world without you. So, this book is mind-blowing, especially for children, but also for us. In a time where things are just so uncertain and so mismeshed and just so chaotic, it's nice to know that we have a purpose in the world. We have a place, and amidst the chaos, amidst the tragedies, we have a bigger purpose, and that's to make a difference. So I really wanted to share this book with you because this book inspired me. So again, if you haven't bought this book for a child or anyone, it is fabulous. I think you highly should. It's called You're Here for a Reason by Nancy Tillman. I think the biggest thing that I love about this book is when it says the world would be different without you by far, and that if not for your hands, your eyes, and your feet, the world like a puzzle would be incomplete. So we all have a piece to play in this big puzzle. We all have a part that we need to do in this big puzzle. And sometimes the first step in figuring out what we're supposed to do is finding our why. That's actually kind of an interesting question though, right? I mean, why what, right? I did not stop thinking, or I didn't actually think about my why for a really long time. I didn't even know what it meant to think about my why. And then somebody asked me one day, they're like, what is your why? And I said, why what? And they're like, why do you do what you do? And I was like, well, like, what do you mean? They're like, why do you do all the things that you do? There has to be a purpose. There's a passion behind it, but why? You know, it could be money, it could be fame, it could be anything, but why? And it kind of got me thinking, like, what is my why? You know, when things get really tough, when things are just at their hardest moment, what is my why? What keeps me going? I had to do a lot of soul searching to find it. And the truth is, I'm still kind of on that journey to figure out what my why is, because I find it always changes. So for those of you who don't know, I wear multiple hats. I'm a mom full-time. I'm a social worker / behavioral health consultant full-time. I'm a unique glamologist full-time and on the side. I do makeup for people on the side. I do Bollywood parties on the side. I'm going to be starting a lash business on the side, and I'm a motivational speaker. And the reason I do all this, the reason I have so many hats, is because my why is I want to inspire our next generation. I feel like when I looked at things, I took a step back and I kind of looked at life, and I looked at the people around me, and I looked at, you know, I'm surrounded by so many fabulous people that are so inspiring, and I thought, where's my piece? Like, what am I doing to contribute to this, to make it better for the next generation? I remember when I had my daughter and they put her in my arms, and I looked down at this tiny child and I was like, oh my God. I was like, I have to raise a human. And, you know, a lot of people might laugh at that because for 9 months I grew a human, but the fact that I had to raise her was a whole different thing I wasn't prepared for. The idea that I was going to help shape this woman that she's going to become, that blew my mind, because I didn't know really who I was as a woman either. And so I thought, how am I supposed to teach this young girl or give her a foundation for who she's going to be if I'm still kind of up in the air with who I am? So a lot of my why had to do with being a better person. Not that I wasn't already, like, I wasn't a terrible person, but I wasn't thinking very deeply into who I was as a person. And so one of my whys was to figure out, who was I as kind of that bigger person, that bigger picture? What was my reason? And how was I going to create this ripple effect so that when my daughter is older, she's not faced with a lot of the same challenges that we are? You know, right now, the world is tragic, and it is violent, and it is not safe. And it's hard to think about raising a child in that kind of environment. You know, bullying is on the rise. Body image issues are on the rise. Suicide is on. There's so much happening. And how was I going to protect this little child from it all? And I realized that I wasn't going to protect it. I wasn't going to protect her from it. I had to just try to make it better and do my part. That's kind of why this book hit me so hard when I first bought it. We have the whole Nancy Tillman collection, and it's incredible. If you haven't read any of them, you really should. But this one in particular, I remember the first time I read it to her, I was in tears. That idea that there's such a big puzzle out there and we each have a part to play. And I feel like in my journey to figure out my why, I'm slowly finding out the why of other people and catching on to that, you know, and helping people to pull that question out of themselves. When I first started the journey to find my why was to figure out who I was, you know, to find confidence within myself, because I was a wife and a mom, and then I was like, okay, but then what? Like, what else am I? Not that those aren't fabulous things to be, but what else was I? And then, you know, at a certain point in my life, my why turned into money. I was driven by the need to have some money, some extra money, because, you know, we were in a little bit of financial stress, and I was kind of driven by that. So my why focused on that for a little while. And now my why has shifted more towards, you know, my daughter's 2, and she's starting to watch me more and mimic me more and copy me more. And it's that idea that my why and everything I do is to inspire her, inspire this little human, so that she can recognize that in this bigger picture, we can be unstoppable. We can reach our goals. You know, we can reach our dreams. They're never just too far. You know, I remember having these crazy dreams and goals when I was younger. And looking back on it now, I wondered, why couldn't I do that? And it was, a lot of this had stopped me. A lot of the stuff up here had stopped me. Oh, but I can't do that because, oh, I'm just not good enough to do that. And, you know, I'm not pretty enough to do that. And, you know, I'm not rich enough to do that. And I thought, you know what, enough. I'm going to pursue the goals that I have, that I want, the dreams that I want, to show my daughter that if you work really hard at something, if you put your all into it, if your why is strong enough and your passion is big enough, you can get it. You can reach it. And the funny thing is when I switched my mentality into that actually started happening. I remember one of my biggest dreams was to be a motivational speaker. I thought, I want to be a motivational speaker. I want to help people. I want to inspire people. I want to share my story with people. But I had no idea how I was going to do it. I didn't even think that I could speak in front of 5 people, let alone hundreds of people. And then when I finally put that aside, and I put the idea that I can't do something aside, and I tapped into my why. Why did I want to be a motivational speaker? Well, I want to create a ripple effect of change. I want women, especially, to feel beautiful in their bodies, regardless of their size, regardless of, you know, the scars they may have. I wanted women to feel deeply beautiful, inside and out. And I was hoping that by inspiring others and motivating others in that sense, they could pass that on to their children. And so I could pass that on to my daughter. And as she gets older, there's this new generation of just body love and true beauty, right? People seeing beauty from inside of a person, not, oh, what size of clothes does she wear? Or, you know, her hair looks like this, or she has acne. None of that. That stuff wouldn't matter. So that was my goal in motivational speaking. And when I tapped into my why, that's when the opportunities started coming out, which blew my mind. I remember my first speaking event was through my hairstylist, Zara Image. She was having a birthday party, and she invited some vendors to come and some boss babes. And she's like, do you want to speak? And I said, sure. And that was my first event. And through that led to another event, which led to another event. And that's what happened. And I didn't expect it. But when I stopped looking at what I can't do or why I couldn't do something, I started tapping into why did I want to in the first place? And I started using my why to fuel everything. So even now, when I met with failure, when I met with resistance, when I met with not reaching exactly my goal, I use that why to fuel things forward. I use that why to push me that one step harder, to work that one step harder. You know, a simple thing was I started exercising at an ungodly hour of 5 a.m. I didn't even know there was such a thing as 5 a.m. But I started using the 5-second rule by Mel Robbins to get up in the morning and exercise. And I was thinking back to all the other times I had made an exercise plan. Why did they always fail? Why did they always fail? Because they were for the wrong reasons. They weren't for my real why. They were for, so I can fit into that dress, or so I can, you know, look good in a bathing suit. But when I recognized, why do I want to exercise more? Why? And it was because I wanted to be healthy as a person. It didn't matter what I look like. I want to be healthy from the inside. I want I want my heart to function well. I want to be around for my daughter as she ages. That's what fueled me in waking up every morning at 5 a.m. to find a way to exercise. You know, in my work life, I deal with a lot of difficult situations. I deal with patient stories every single day. I deal with multiple patients every single day. And burnout rates are so high in our field. And I thought, you know, I actually thought I was burning out at one point. And a patient said to me, like, how do you do this every day? Why do you do this every day? It must be so hard. And I took a step back and I said, well, yeah, it's really hard, but why is because I want to be the light in that darkest moments for people. And that's what I am. I'm not somebody who's gonna fix all their problems. I may not fix any of their problems. I might just be the one person they have to talk to in that day when they needed it the most. And if I could provide that light for even one person out of 30 patients that I see, then I know that it was okay. Then I know it was all worth it. And so when I tapped into my why, and my why was bigger, to create and inspire people to get better, that's when going to work was so much easier, and burning out wasn't really in my immediate happening. There's a lot of things that we forget why we're doing them. We think, oh, I'm doing this because they said I should. Somebody said I should. I'm doing this because it's what I should do as a person. But once we tap into why, the real why, it takes some soul searching. Sorry, I dropped the book. It takes some soul searching, but once you tap into your real why, shit gets real. Oh my God, like your mind just goes, and it's amazing what happens. So I wish I could tell you that when you tap into your why, everything gets easier. The truth is, when you tap into your why, everything gets harder. And the reason for that is now you're fueled by this thing that's not going to let you be lazy and take a step back and say, I'm not going to do this today. Your why is just like, hello, we have a goal. Hello, you got to do this. And you start pushing yourself forward every single day. You see hurdles and you're like, nah, I don't think so. I'm going to climb over you. And sometimes it's exhausting. Sometimes it is so exhausting, but it keeps you going. So that's why this book blew my mind when I read it the first time to my daughter, because just the title, You're Here for a Reason. And the reason might not be to, end global poverty. The reason might just be to change one person's life. And that's perfect. That is incredible in just what it is. Whatever your reason is, I want you to find that. And you find that by reaching deep down and figuring out what your why is. Why are you doing what you're doing? So we get up and we go to work every day. Why? Why does that fuel you? What is your reason for being passionate about what you do? So now I'm going to throw it up to an open forum. I don't know who's watching, but if you're watching, give me some comments, give me some love if this is making any sense to anybody, because I've just rambled on for the last little while. So yeah, give me some love, give me some emojis, at least so I know somebody's watching, because I feel like I'm just talking to myself and being all like Oprah Winfrey, like you get inspiration and you get inspiration and you get inspiration for, I don't even know who's watching. So if you're watching, give me one of these, let me know you're here. Shoot me up with some. Let's see some hearts fly across the screen. No? This book, game changer. Okay, I know it's a children's book. I get it. But if you have kids, get it for them and read it to them. If you don't, read it for yourself. It reminds you that you are here for a reason, and that tough days are gonna happen and they're gonna suck. But even in those tough days, good things can happen. It says here, you're here for a reason. It's totally true. You're part of a world that is counting on you. So don't be afraid if some days fall flat. Good things can happen even from that. Life can be tricky, there isn't a doubt. You'll skin your knees trying to figure it out. But life works together. The good and the bad, the silly, the awful, the happy and sad. To paint a big picture, you can't always see a picture that needs you, most definitely. So tough times, good times, you're here for a reason. And I really hope that through this live, it maybe sparks a little bit of something in somebody to say, really, what is my why? Why do I do what I do? And what else? What is my bigger why? What are my dreams? What are my goals? And what's holding me back? Because we have big dreams. All of us have big dreams that we think, oh, that's just a dream. That's just a dream. It's not going to happen. But why not? I want you to ask yourself why all the time. Question yourself. Be that toddler that says, but why, mommy? But why, mommy? Because that's what we should be doing, questioning things, questioning ourselves a lot in a good way that really causes us to be authentic, that causes us to reach down and say, why am I being the way I'm being? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Okay, so I hope this live inspires you in some way to figure that out. And I hope that the word why floats through your mind, or even why not. Why not is such a powerful thing. And I know I use that with my daughter a lot, you know, and she'll say, you know, Mommy, I want to go to the slide. It's like, why not? Let's go. Let's do it. Right. Or, you know, even with her, she's 2, and we will ask her, you know, I'll say, what's your favorite color? And she'll say red. And I'll say, why? Why do you like it? And I mean, I know by background, I'm a social worker, and my husband already says my poor child is probably going to need therapy one day, because I therapize her all the time. It's just the way it is. I question her a lot, and we bring all that stuff out, but I want her to recognize the importance of the question why. And what is her why for things? And I want you to question what your why is. When you apply for that job, when you run that race, when you, you know, when you join a company, when you, I don't know, buy an outfit, why? What is it about that that's making you do that? When you pay for a stranger's coffee, why? Why are you doing that? What is deep inside you that's making you do it? I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Please pay for people's coffee, because pay it forward is fabulous. But what is your big why? If your big why is to create change, then do that. Do that so much more often, right? Pay for someone's coffee. Do a gesture of kindness. That's your why. So I want you to dig deep, and I want you to think about everything that you're doing is there's a purpose. You're here for a reason. And so what is that reason? So there's my motivational moment in Kia's closet. Welcome to Kia's closet. I know it was totally different. Normally it's all about makeup and fun stuff like that. Today I was getting real with y'all. I was hoping to inspire. And I was hoping that through this you'll figure out your why, and you'll reach deep down. And I was hoping to bring some happy, because things in the world are kind of sad. So, find your why. Read this book. I know I read it, so if you haven't bought it, you can always rewind the live when it's done and check it out. If not, I'll be going live on Instagram right away to do this all over again. Let me know if this was your first time watching. Don't forget to hashtag new, hashtag replay if you're watching this on replay, and hit me up with your whys. Like, give me some messages below. I would love to hear the reason you do what you do. I'd love to hear what inspires you, what keeps you going, and what change you'd love to see in the world. So I hope you guys have an incredible Tuesday, and I hope you guys choose to dig deep and to get real with yourselves, and to make the change, because like it or not, we got to inspire the generation that's coming after us, and we got to make it better for them than it is for us. So we got to do it, guys. We got to be the voice. We got to be the hope for the next generation, that the world can be a good place, and that humanity still exists, and that there's good people out there. So be the why, be the change, and thanks for watching.